Hey guys, welcome to another Monday podcast with me and the crew. For anyone wondering, yes, I have a bandage on my face. We're not going to make it about that. I had a mild surgery done on my face. Soon enough, you'll see it without the bandage. But let's dig in on something that's a little concerning, I would say, especially to us older guys, is the future of classic cars dying. And then I think you have to determine, well, what is a classic car, right? Because like we're building that 1990 Fox body, and technically that would fall into being a classic car at this point.
Right.
Is there a year?
But I think we, when I think of classic cars, personally, I'm thinking in that realm of, I guess everything that in California falls into that level of no smog requirements, no inspections, so 1976 and earlier. And it makes me wonder, as I see, there's plenty of younger guys I see getting into classic cars, but it seems like more and more of the younger generation, your age bracket and stuff, are guys that are getting into cars that you grew up on, just like what we did. We're like the cars that we're resto-modding are cars that we grew up looking at as a kid going, wow, that's really bitchin'. A 70 Chevelle, a 65 Mustang, whatever it might be, and I see a lot of the younger generation, like recently, Emil was his name, right? With the 240 SX.
Yeah.
I see E36s and stuff like that getting resto-modded. But I wonder anyways, is it a dying breed at this point? Is there going to be a day where, a clean 1970 Chevelle can be bought for 10 grand again?
Again, because it did get to that point, right?
Then it's gone
up.
When you sold my brothers, it was probably generally around then. I think we got 20 or you got 20, 25 maybe for it.
How long ago was that?
I don't even remember, but that's in
doubled.
That's in modern days. Think about
like when I got my Camaro at $750.
Exactly.
Damn, Chris.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
But
exactly.
It's all relative too. Homes were probably 50 grand. Now they're 200.
Well, what I'm thinking about is like, look at those 1930s hot rods, Deuce Coupe that's chopped and this and that. Nobody does that. That died, That's
Very
gone,
few.
And I think it probably will get to that point where it's like 60s Mustang, Chevelle, this and that's probably going to be like, oh, look at this old timer.
Yeah.
I saw a video on TikTok. I think Kyle, I sent it to you a while back. It was, it was like an auction, like a Barrett Jackson type auction, but it was a lot of 30s, 40s cars. And a lot of them were just 20 grand, 15 grand, 30, a lot. It was 30s and 40s cars. But that's where I sent it to Kyle. I was like, I think this is where we're the direction that we're going in,
Yeah.
Because it is kind of getting hard to want to choose older cars when a lot of the newer cars outperform in almost every way.
Sure.
And they have a warranty.
Sure.
And you can finance it. I don't need $200,000 to go get something.
Yeah, the price is ridiculous for some of these resto mods, and I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's just like it's almost unobtainable for me or Josh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for the younger generation, like I don't know how Kyle and I are supposed to come up to be able to afford. We're just talking labor rates a second ago, like even $175 an hour, right? You can barely afford rent. I can't afford to build a car, or to own a plastic car, let alone park it.
And then if I do have that money, am I going to spend it on a car that's going to always be in a shop? I have to constantly crank on it because it's a resto mod. It's been built. It's customized. It has to work out things. Or do I spend my $200 and go get something with warranty?
Yeah.
So maybe it is dying.
What is resto mod in a way? Is it doing an exhaust?
Well, I'm not gonna buy a
shocks?
1970 Chevelle and drive it like that. That would suck. That car sucks. It needs to have at the bare minimum like drivetrain, suspension, all that has to be sorted out. It has to drive, and you're not doing that for.
There's price points, right? Hotchkiss or bits and pieces that you could assemble from different manufacturers.
Yeah.
Now,
when I got my Camaro, is this a resto mod? Putting in traction bars so you don't do the wheel hop, putting on Coney shocks, widening my rims so I can get a wider tire underneath the car.
I think that's mildly modified. I think when we're talking resto mods, I think we're all kind of talking the same language, which is you buy that Chevelle, Mustang, whatever it might be, and you call it a donor car. Maybe you keep either the stock frame or the unibody. You know, maybe you keep that, but you're upgrading engine, transmission, suspension, wiring, exhaust, on and on and on. You add up, even if you do it yourself, even if you're like our friend Shawn and, you know, a lot of these guys that we've shot with that do it themselves, you've got easily $75,000 in parts plus your $25,000 donor car. So you're into the car for $100,000. You put a couple thousand hours of your own time and your buddy's time in, and that's if you know what the hell you're doing. What about the guy like us that doesn't build cars? You know, I mean, like, I know the reality is if I want to build...
We'd be watching YouTube all the time. All right, we're doing a transmission.
YouTube University, That's how a lot of these guys have done it.
But I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that
I just know
either.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So if I want a resto-mod that fits into the world of what I want, of something that looks great, even if it was a patinaed car, so you're not dealing with paint and body. But if I want to do that, I'm like, you know, I'm easily $100,000+.
Well, the donor cars are like the shell for a Mustang fastback. If you want a 1960 whatever fastback, you're paying $18,000 minimum.
Yeah, totally.
Because isn't there that Dynacorn company or something like that you can buy? They make
You can
a
get
shell.
body panels.
They make that's $18,000 for the starting, right? So that means all these other Mustang body shells that are sitting out there are like around that range too. You can't just buy a shell for $3,000. You get $20,000, almost $20,000. You just have body.
Now what about just classic cars in general, not like resto mods, just like a stock classic car? Do you think those are going to go out, or is it only going to be resto mods left?
Well, the other thing I'm thinking about too is gas, right? If gas keeps going up the way that it is, I mean, I paid basically $6 the other day, $5.89 or $5.90 for gas the other day. If gas becomes $20 no one's driving cars anymore.
That changes everything.
Waymo's going to take over some form of transportation. Like no one's going to drive anymore.
Yeah.
Even my M4, it'll be like...
not for daily driving.
Not for daily. You know how you see a guy like riding around on a horse? You're like, how much did that fucking horse cost? How much does it cost to feed it? This, that. No one's riding a fucking horse anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Same thing. You're going to see a guy in a car and be like, what is this idiot doing? Paying $20 to fill up that gas guzzler over there? Like, well, it's probably going to go out.
It's a big question, man. I mean, especially with it. We'll see. Right now, we're in this big hit, obviously, in the last week and a half of gas prices spiking. Like, I mean, I paid yesterday for 91 octane, I paid $5.79 a gallon. A week and a half ago, I was paying, you know, just above $5, $5.10, $5.15, which I know the rest of the country's not like that. I mean, our gas prices here are higher than fucking Hawaii now, which is ridiculous. You know,
I was paying under $5 for a gallon of diesel for the truck.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, $4.80 or something like that.
Not too long
and I
ago.
damn near spent $7 or $6.
Yeah, I was like $5.89 on where I live at that gas station down the street. So that's pretty crazy, man.
I think that plays into it a lot too, because you know, you can get modern vehicles that are 4-cylinder turbo cars that make pretty damn good power.
Yeah.
Bone stock, and you're getting 25 plus miles to the gallon.
It's almost like that's the bigger flex. Oh, you got 1,000 horsepower? Yeah, you're at the pump all the time. I have a fucking Prius, 400 miles. I fucking drive back and forth, dude.
Totally,
Hey,
man.
Kyle, so back to the original topic. Sorry to change the subject, but for our generation, Kyle, how come you think a lot of kids our age aren't buying classic cars or resto mods in general?
Because these kids are TikTok hype beasts, dude. They see GTR, G80 M3, GT3 RS, and they're like, oh, all the specs, it's the fastest car. You just put your foot to the floor and drive. That's where they're going to go spend their money.
Yeah.
They've seen all these kids on TikTok get those
But
cars.
those are out of reach.
I mean, for the performance, though, think about it. It's the same price as a resto mod. It's not going to be anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, none of these kids are going to buy a Chevelle and spend that money to, you know, resto mod it when they can go buy a GT3 RS or a GTR for, you can get a GTR for like $60,000.
Really?
Can't you get a 2009 or 10 GTR for like 60 grand?
Yeah, that's like a 09 with like higher mileage.
I mean, I don't think that's, I was
Higher
going to say, I don't
mileage,
think
a lot
that's
of
a great
maintenance.
comparison car because GTRs hold their value like crazy. But I think the ones you you can look at, even go down to the lower end spectrum of some of the Japanese cars. Like I've joked about it recently, you and I driving along, every time I see like a Subaru STI, I would never want one of my friends to catch me driving one of those.
But you think it's a cool car?
It's a great car, and I've driven them before. I've been in them before through canyons. You've got great performance. You could buy one of those, like a fully built, really bitchin' one for $30,000.
Yeah. The other thing too is like, I feel like because you can finance newer stuff, a lot of kids are like, no one has the money to just buy it cash.
Right.
So that you can't go finance a 1970 car. I mean, you can. The interest rate will be crazy high, personal loan, all that. But like just to go to the down the street and buy a car, you can have your mom co-sign for you and get a G80 or something like that. And it's easy money.
I think what's hard too is like with modern cars, they're so good nowadays. Like think about like a C706, for example, right? It's like a good one is like 65K around
70,
there.
65, 70.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. To get a classic car to perform as similar as a C706,
double the money.
Or whatever, like not even similar, but just up to like the same power level, right? Called just basic drivetrain. You're spending a lot and to get to the same.
And you have to spend it cash. You have to pay for the parts, pay for the builder. You have to constantly be writing checks for it.
Right.
And then after that, you guys still got to tinker with it. And it's
constantly.
And then you see these people, they just sell them because they're like, fuck, I put so much into it. They never get their money back for it. That's why our generation is kind of like, what the fuck, what am I going to do that for?
Yeah.
The only kids you see in our generation that are doing it is their dad was into hot rodding, and the dad had a grandpa, something like that, had a 65 Mustang that was sitting in the backyard, gave it to the kid. He figured out how to get sponsors and parts and all of that, and he's worked on it all this time. Those are the only kids you see that do
Dennis's kids,
Kale, Drew, guys like that.
And those are guys that do it themselves.
They do it themselves,
they
100%.
cut all the labor out.
Yeah.
Or it's the guy like how we just shot with Armin recently, and Armin's a plastic surgeon. I mean, he makes
good money.
He's got to be making really good money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think unfortunately so many cool things that I certainly grew up on are being just priced out for the working class guy or girl.
Yeah, Porsches are like through the fucking roof, man. How am I ever going to touch my dream car?
Right.
GT3 or a turbo or this? I don't think I can get one, dude.
Right.
I'm going to have to buy a house first, which I'm probably not going to be able to get either.
Yeah.
And if I even get the money to get that, then, I'd be like, oh, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Porsche used to be the working man's like sports car.
Yeah.
It was basic, it was simple, and that was under $100,000 you can get a cool Porsche.
Yeah.
A brand new, if you want a brand new base 911 with the turbo 4-cylinder, $170,000.
Is it really that much now?
$170,000 starting price for a basic 911.
Is it really
for
that
a 992?
much?
Look it up, Josh. See how much it is.
I didn't know they were that
price
much.
992 911 Carrera base. What's the starting price?
I had no idea they had gone up.
But what
that
about
much.
a low mileage 3-4 year old?
Well, like that's what. So my neighbor wanted to get a brand new one. He doesn't know nothing about cars. He just wanted Porsche. Give me Porsche turbo, okay? And I told him get a 991, which is like what 2014, 15. Get that Turbo S, and he spent like 115 for it, versus a brand new one, which is not a Turbo S. It's a base. What is it, Josh?
2025, 2026, 911.
There you go, 135.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and then you put tax, license, registration. You're 170 out the door.
Yeah.
At the end of it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you even get lucky to get the car too, right?
Well, that's the other thing with Porsche is it didn't used to be like Ferrari. Now it is. It's you can't just go, I'm going to go to the Porsche dealer and buy a base model 911. No, you're not.
Not anymore.
You're going to be on a waiting list. Hope that you get the car you want. Well, we got one in pink. I know you didn't want pink, but we got one. Cool, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Because at least it's a fucking 911 and I really want one,
That's why you got to go to the secondary market.
Yeah. But even
I
secondary,
one with 10,000 miles on it that
secondary
you can buy right now.
Yeah, but the secondary market's going crazy too. Like people are paying $6 million for a 918 because it's orange with 600 miles on it. You know what I mean? The one that just bro,
well,
that's ridiculous.
That's a little different though.
We're talking base model kind of purchase.
Okay, what about that turbo that's sitting outside, 993 turbo?
Yeah,
when did that
that's
become
almost
sick?
That's almost a $500,000 car.
No, there's more. It's more than $500,000. On Bring a
Is it?
Trailer. Look up Bring a Trailer 993 turbo, or don't even look it up. Whatever, people can go look it up themselves. But 600,000, 700,000. Some of them are selling for.
Yeah.
That car does not look like that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
People are ruining. What's up with the hype?
I was shocked when he
collectors?
brought that car in here that he said it was that car that specific one was worth about $500,000.
Yeah.
You know, when sitting right next to it is, you and I looked it up the other day, pricing, sitting right next to that car in my shop is a black
997
2011, so
Yeah.
997.2 GT3.
Not even RS.
Great car, but GT3.
Yeah,
so
GT3.
specialty Porsche. And that one's falling, given the mileage, call it $175,000.
Sure, yeah.
I'd take that all day long over the 993.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole different, it's such a different class of car, you
Yeah.
know? But it's frustrating because it's, you know, so many things in our world are getting priced to the point where it's like, gosh, the middle class is gone.
Completely.
You're either I'm fucked,
Yeah.
or I don't give a fuck.
Like, what
because
car
I have
can you
so
even
much.
get? What's like under 50K that you can get that's like, this car is going to hopefully go up in value. It might be classic one day. Like my
Yeah.
M4, I used to think it might be classic, but probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
The only
They
one
make so many
the
of
only one I
those.
can
Yep.
think of right
Yep.
now at the top of my head is like a S2000. Those are slowly going up, and those are
Right.
like, I don't know, 30K now.
Jeez.
And
Yeah.
back then, I think during high school, one of my friends bought one. He got it for
10 grand, I remember
20
back.
grand or 18 grand, or
And even
something
that
like
back then was
You know,
a
and
lot.
that was a lot of
That
money
was a
back
lot back then for
Yeah.
that car.
Isn't
Yeah.
that the way it always is, though? Back then, right? My friend bought it. Now it's appreciated, especially if it's a.
I think.
But what
cool
about right
car.
now, though? What car is doing that
I
right
think,
now?
Chris, you're correct on it. That trend is always the case, but I think recently it's just that it takes place over 20, 30 years for it to get to that point. Recently, it's only been 5-10 years and it's doubled.
Spiked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the
mean,
gap's gotten
I
a lot
paid-
bigger.
10 grand. Actually a little under, like 9,900 something for my 78 Trans Am.
What
Brand new.
year?
78.
78.
In 1978.
10 grand.
But then when did you buy
Brand
your
new.
Camaro for 750?
When I turned 16 in 73. So the car was 6 years old
And it's $750.
for a 6-year-old car.
I think that's the other thing, though,
But
too,
the
is I
dollar
don't
was
know.
also
Yeah.
worth
Bread was
more
like
than it is
$2
right now.
back then.
Wow.
I think it's hard to also predict. Like back then, you weren't predicting that your 67 Camaro in 30 years
Would be worth
was going to be
yeah.
worth 10 times what you
I
paid
sold it for
it.
$3 grand to my boss's son who hated
Yeah.
the car as a kid. 'cause
The Camaro?
I pick him up. Yeah.
You sold the Camaro for $3 grand. Okay.
Yeah.
Bought for
And,
okay. How about
in
your Trans
the
Am?
Early 80s. Trans Am, I sold that sweetheart deal. I sold it for $1,000.
And you paid $9 for it? Damn, dude.
And then, yeah. And then it got wrapped around a tree.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got to say, I hope we're wrong on the future of classic cars, but I also think we're accurate on the cost of those classic cars is just going to continue to increase. I mean, think about this one, right?
But it might go down, right?
I've looked maybe, but I think of like the pre-war cars, call it the Duesenbergs, right? Like I don't care about them. I don't want
me
one.
and Josh are not hanging out with friends going,
No,
I
no.
gotta get a Duesenberg in my life, dude.
Don't get me wrong.
No one's gonna say that.
No, dude, I totally agree. But that's the comedy in it is that, like, if I had all the money in the world, I'm not buying a Duesenberg. I'm not buying an old
Bentley.
40s Bugatti.
yeah.
I'm not buying any of that. So you would think by now the value would have decreased on those, and it is not.
But who's
it has
buying them?
not. Good question.
Is it money
Good-
laundering people who just want to? Oh, you know what I mean? I heard the CIA guy
question,
saying
though.
the best ways to launder money was racehorses, fine art, and real estate. That's how a lot of these big dogs do money laundering. And maybe the fine art comes in with cars. You know what I mean? Like that's part of buying something.
Yeah,
fun,
maybe
you know?
so.
I paid
Maybe
$10
so.
million for a World War whatever Bugatti.
Yeah.
You know?
It is
Fuck wants that car?
it is frustrating though. I see now and again in comments on the main channel. The reason it comes to mind is I just saw the comment the other day. Shawn, when are you going to show us your car collection?
No, I did notice that.
My
one.
car collection, fuck, dude. My car collection consists of my everyday driving car, and then that old Mercedes that my mom and dad gave me.
And a Harley.
That's my. It's not a car.
Okay,
That's my collection. You
Two
know,
cars.
it's like I fucking work too hard and put too much money back into all the two businesses, and it's like I don't. You know, I mean, it's funny. I make a decent living.
Yeah.
That if I could make this living in, you know, Sturgis, South Dakota.
Yeah.
I would
By
be
the way,
living
that's becoming expensive too now.
But you'd
Well,
be,
for
but
sure.
you'd be
You know what
crushing,
I mean?
is what you're saying.
in a lot of other parts of the country. I would be, but the stuff that I
Arizona.
do,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can't
know
buy a
how I
house
would be
here.
able to do it here.
You cannot
know?
buy a house,
No, I can't.
and you make a good living.
I can't afford a house. I mean, it's median house price for a
Well,
house
because people
now
can't
is what
save anymore.
$900,000+ in Southern California.
Yeah, and then try
You
to
know?
buy like a nice resto-mod at the same
Yeah.
time. Like,
yeah. You want to talk about,
You know what I mean?
I can't wait to get a Porsche or a resto-mod. You can't even get a house right now, bro.
Yeah.
You can't. What are we
Yeah.
doing?
I think a hard part too is like I've heard a lot of like
Let's just fucking quit.
No, seriously.
I've heard a lot of like older guys that we've shot with and even on the podcast where they kind of they try to, I don't want to say throw shade at the younger generation, but
But they do.
They
I bought a house when I was your age.
yeah, but like that's different. But they say sometimes they say something like, "Oh, this younger generation they don't care about classic cars and this and that." But I think the fact of the matter is we do. Like all of us really loves classic cars. We want a classic car. I think every kid our age, you know, I'm 27, you're 25. Everyone wants one. We just can't afford it.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
plain and simple. We just
What about
can't.
Ian though? Like Ian made it work. Ian bought that little Mustang, and it's all.
That fool doesn't drive it.
Yeah, because he can't. He can't afford to put it
He can't
together.
afford to put it
Exactly.
together.
It's been years. He got.
That's
Bro,
a
he has
great
help with
example.
Dave too. He has help with Dave.
But he's gone to school, but you know, he's been doing the work primarily.
But that's
by
the thing,
himself.
is-
For years.
Yeah,
years.
he has
Cars
another car
sitting
he's
in the
driving,
garage,
like-
not drivable.
I think he's
Yeah.
had that since he was like 16 or 17. He
Yeah.
bought it. Dave helped him put the engine in it. Dave
Yeah.
gave him the engine, the transmission. This,
Yeah.
that. He still can't finish it.
can't finish
And I'm not even
it.
throwing shade. That's just the reality of it. You
Agreed.
know what I mean?
Yep.
It's
Yep.
like,
And I don't know
Yeah.
like his personal situation on like rent and all that stuff, but like that's even on all that, like
Yeah.
with him having help or whatever, right?
Yeah.
He still can't afford
Yeah.
to build the car.
look at Drew. Drew has
know,
that.
none of
Cougar.
us can afford to
no,
build a
no
car.
one can, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could barely afford.
No,
my-
the only way you can is you really do have to. I mean, now again, the perspective is different because we live in Southern California, one of the most expensive places in the whole country to live.
Totally.
So our perspective's totally thrown off versus, you know, there's people watching going, well, gosh, I can afford it. I live here and I'm a plumber or I'm an electrician,
Yeah.
whatever, you know, but it's very, we get a different perspective on things because of where we live.
For sure.
Where a basic, what to a lot of people would be a tear down house is a $900,000 house.
Yeah.
True.
And it's a shit box. I mean, in a shit part of town like Pacoima. Sorry for anyone that lives in Pacoima.
No, but he's not. Yeah.
but I'm just being realistic
Yeah.
about it. Our perspective is very different because of where we live. I know a lot of you guys watching go, why don't you get the fuck out of there? There's a lot of reasons why I don't personally, you know. I mean,
Whether
my
it's
family's here, my
yeah.
business is here.
The weather is great,
The
too.
weather,
Yeah.
our car culture is great. There's so many things that do keep me here that I
Right.
love. And at the same time, I mean, how many times have you heard me say it, dude, when we're out dropping off, picking up cars, we talk about stuff and it's like, wow, I really just need to make a lot more
Yeah,
money.
that's the other thing. It's
Right.
either you
And
leave
that's
or
the
you make it.
reality.
But then, dude, how do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Well, check out this kind of reality check.
Become a drug
Let-
dealer.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's been tempting, bro. It's been
Back in,
tempting.
back in 1970, and these are all kind of middle class prices that I'm going to throw out. You could buy a good house up in the hills, maybe Encino, Tarzana, Woodland Hills, for 70 grand.
okay. What year is this?
1970.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just showing you before we jumped into this crazy situation in LA we're into. A lot of people were making between 25 and 30 grand.
Okay.
So what does that mean? You bought a house for 70, a little more than twice your annual salary,
Right.
right? The same time, cars, you could buy a Corvette for in maybe 4 grand.
Right. Didn't you? Okay.
That's 10% of your salary.
right.
Right? Now, if you're making 50 grand, you can't buy a car for in the same ratios. The home you're looking for is,
Way
like you
off the
said,
ratio.
Way off.
900
Everything
grand
is way off,
for that
yeah.
same home that
Yeah.
you bought for 70.
Yep.
But the wages, obviously, the expense, the inflation of the dollar.
Yeah.
They say in 1967, the CPI, Consumer Price Index, in 1967, $1 equaled a dollar. Since then, the dollar
Was that before the Nixon thing happened with the gold and all of the whole? Am I saying that?
going from the
It's not backed by the
gold reserve,
Right.
silver reserve, where your dollars.
Didn't that affect
I
how
don't know what year that took place. but-
70 something maybe? I don't know.
and got
What do I know?
controlled by the Federal Reserve, which is not. It's kind of deceiving. It's not really the federal government. It's
Yeah.
a bunch of bankers that get together.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe what happens is that we stop paying the stupid prices for those cars. We can't afford it. That person has to sell that car. What are they going to do? They're going to
By
have to
the
get
way,
desperate.
at that same
Yeah.
time, gas was 25, 30 cents a gallon.
Yeah, and someone filled it up for you too, right?
And checked your fluids.
Yeah, right. And they're all in a
Crazy.
white, clean suit.
Crazy.
You know, it's an interesting what you were starting to lean towards. This morning, I went on kind of a deep dive on a bunch of different stuff, and one thing I came upon that I want to look a little more into is it might be time to save up a couple bucks and be prepared to buy off inventory from CarMax, because CarMax is really, they're in big serious trouble right now. I mean,
Okay.
sales every year have dropped more than 10% from them. Their
fuck
inventory is so full that they can't even fit more cars on their lots.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, totally. But it just
They
made
always
me
give the
think
worst,
it's like maybe there's enough people, and I think this is where we might see a turn in the tide. Is that there's enough people going, yeah, I can't afford all of this stuff. I have to pay the gas prices, the utilities, the rent, the health insurance, on and on and
Yeah.
on, with all the costs that just continue to increase while corporations produce these record-breaking profits annually. At some point, there's got to be a breaking point where
Yeah.
the average person goes, yeah, I can't afford this anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe we start to see a shift in things. I don't know. I don't
Can't
know.
afford the new cars or can't afford
Life in
just
general.
Life in general.
I mean, just life in
I also
general.
think there are a lot of people who have found ways to hack the system, like those day trader kids you see on TikTok. 23-year-old kid buys a Koenigsegg. You know what I mean? Why do
Yeah.
you have $100 million at that age? You know what I mean? And then it's one guy like that who goes and says, yeah, I'll pay $1 million for an old Lincoln. And now every other dickhead with a Lincoln thinks his car's worth $1 million. And that's what happens. It's, oh, my Porsche is one of one spec. I'm PCA member. I'm Magnus. I'm you know what I mean? And then now all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah.
everyone's paying that. They think their car's worth that much money and no
Yeah.
one can afford it,
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, the more we talk about it, the more I'm sitting here catching myself going, wow, this is kind of a bummer fucking
I
conversation.
kind of do, yeah.
No,
It does.
just 'cause and it's not that I want to shut off reality. I'm not doing that. It's just it's I think part of it is I think we're dramatically impacted by the world we currently live in, and I want to think that things can get better. You know what I mean? And the reality right now is it's just a tough fucking time, man.
You know what I
just
think about is imagine all the 800 cars that we've shot, right? And fast forward, now they're hand-me-downs to their kids.
Yeah.
What are their kids going to do with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Like,
Good
yeah.
fucking question.
If someone handed me some $250,000 resto-mod right now, I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Right? I technically don't really have parking for it. Am I really going to drive it? I can't afford to fix it.
And the maintenance too.
Anything that
Yeah.
goes wrong with it.
Yep.
They're probably just going to sell it.
You know
Yeah,
the blue
unfortunately.
Chevelle we
Yeah.
shot with resto-mod that had that Nelson twin turbo motor in it?
Yeah.
Some kid our age won that car.
And he
now,
sold it?
No, he kept it, but something is going on with it mechanically.
Yeah.
And he took it to a shop, and the shop is over here telling him, oh, this engine's no good.
Oh no.
We'll give you like $5,000 for it, and you
Oh,
put something
no.
else in it. And the kid's calling Esparza like, what do I do? And Esparza's like, dude, that's a Nelson motor.
Right.
That thing's worth X amount. And the
Right.
shop is telling him, oh, you don't want this engine. You don't want, and he
'Cause
doesn't
they
know
want
anybody
the fucking
because they want
engine.
the motor for something like that. It's a Nelson
What a
motor.
joke.
But you get what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
if I won that car, I don't know what the fuck to do with
Yeah.
it, dude.
You
Yeah.
have to live
Yeah.
around
We heard
that car.
Yeah.
kind of the same thing with Slang, where someone kiped an engine and replaced it with a lower value engine.
Yeah, they brought
Yeah.
the LS.
A.
No, it was a ZR1 LS9. They took it out and put an LSA in it, thinking that no one would notice.
Yeah.
Because they're both supercharged V8s,
Yeah.
but completely different setups.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's my point. I don't know what I would do if I won that car. I mean, my first thought would be take that Nelson motor out, sell it, and then put something more reliable into it. But that's going to cost money too, even though I won the car. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, dude.
Well, that's the bottom line for sure is with a resto-mod car, I don't care how well it's built.
tinkering all the time.
It's going to be, I mean, there's some, like I was listening to the podcast, the Oil and Whiskey podcast, I was telling you, with Roger from Ironworks.
God, that's his third time on.
Really?
And Jeremy talking about how they've built their Legends trucks, very specifically the Legends trucks, to be daily drivers. And that's what he does, is he daily drives his, you know. I mean, that's about as close in the world of, call it a resto-mod, but it's about as close as you get to a highly engineered car, kind of like a modern OE.
Yeah. But we drove that car for like 1,000 miles. And
even more.
It was good.
Yeah.
But do you remember the brake light wasn't? I was following behind you the whole time at night going like, oh shit, I don't know when Shawn, I can get real
the
close
brake lights
to you.
weren't working.
Right. And I get, like, that's minor in the world of restaurant, but still,
it's something.
It's always something.
Yep.
My M4 doesn't do that.
Agreed.
My
Dude,
M4 doesn't
totally
just fail on me halfway down the street. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah,
So-
totally agree.
No matter.
Probably a ground wire too.
Yeah, it's probably something stupid,
know
but
what I mean?
still,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
always something with one of those cars.
Agreed.
Always, no matter how good it is. Yes, sure, it's minor little
Yep.
things, but still, it's something.
Yep. No, I couldn't agree
The most
more.
that happens to me on my M4 is I get a nail in my tire and I got to go fucking put it. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
much. You do an oil change, this and that. Eventually, it might get to that point where it needs more work.
Yeah.
But those resto mods is always something.
All right, well, let's flip the conversation
Okay,
in
get out
another
of the
I was just
direction.
about to
we
say,
got
yeah.
dark
go.
as fuck.
Let's flip the conversation in the total opposite direction.
I love
So
resto
you
mod, by
have
the way. Sorry, I just want to be
the company or
positive.
cars in
Company or
general?
Oh
cars?
no, cars.
You and me
Cars.
both.
Yeah,
dude.
no, I like
You
them
and
too.
me
Yeah,
both.
yeah. I'm
Right.
just upset that they're $10 million. or
Exactly.
whatever.
It's like
You
when your
and me
favorite
both,
thing
dude.
is like $1 million,
Yeah.
and then it's like, okay, well, I can't do anything. You
Yeah.
know, it's like
Okay.
a brand new video game comes out and it's like $150, and you're like 10 years old. Like, what do? You can't do
You
anything.
can't do it.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, let's flip the conversation in completely the opposite direction, which is, let's say budget is no question for you whatsoever. You've got, you've got all the money.
You just won the lotto.
You got all the money in the world. You're worth, let's not even all the money in the world. Let's say you're worth a paltry $500 million, right?
Okay.
So you're a 500 millionaire and you're like us, you're super into cars, right? And you start buying shit that you love. How many's too many?
Now you're probably making $50 million a year off your.
Yeah, the money's irrelevant, right? The
I'm
money's
gonna say-
irrelevant.
I gotta be honest, you really only need 4 to 5 cars.
Yeah.
As many as you want to buy, it's not a question. You can buy 100 cars and you
Yeah.
still got money left
Yeah,
over to buy another
Sure,
100
sure,
cars.
sure.
My answer is from a realistic, real world standpoint. After 5 cars, you're not going to touch them.
I would say buy 4 or 5 and then rotate. Okay, I had my time with this one, replace with something else. But I wouldn't keep it and then start adding on, because why the fuck do you don't,
You can't
unless you're
you-
Jay Leno.
Well, you need an SUV,
But even
you
Jay
need a
Leno.
sports car, both brand new.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get into whatever,
Yeah, Josh and I have always
Vicious
talked about this.
or,
There's like the truck, the sports car, the daily fast car kind of thing, something like that.
Yeah.
And then like your super car, muscle car situation.
Yeah.
And then maybe a motorcycle, whatever. That's
Yeah.
the kind of breakdown. You can go off-roading. You can have a nice comfy daily date night
Yeah, I've
car.
thought about this plenty. Like for me,
Yeah.
it's daily drive Raptor R, and then I'd have my classic car. I'd have a Ferrari.
Right.
I'd have my race car, and that's pretty much it.
something
Is
for
it
the-
really?
something for the I agree with
Yeah,
him too.
So you
I mean,
top out at about 4
Yeah,
to
From a
5
realistic
total.
standpoint,
Yeah.
like I'm not going to drive any. Like I think about how many times you're going to drive those cars. Like
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
like that's you're going to have trouble driving those already. Just the 4 of them,
and moving them
right?
and maintaining
and then
them.
your family.
And where do you put
Yeah,
them?
where do you
yeah,
put 'em?
where do you park them?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's why I say like if you
Well,
have
you have
a
all the money in the world, so you got
Yeah,
a 20-car garage.
Okay, yeah.
But like, think about all the rich people that we know, right? A lot of them still only have like 3 cars. You know,
okay, well,
like
let's
most
use
of
our
them-
client, for example, that has the 20-car garage. He has
Yep.
about 20 cars
Yep.
and drives one of them. 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then his son
Yeah.
drives the
Yeah.
rest of them.
Yep.
And even the son can't drive all of them at the same time. It's in the same week.
Yeah.
You have to go drive it.
Well, you have to. They make you come and drive them to rotate them and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
So I've thought about it a lot, obviously, because it is what I, with the shop, with managing his collection of vehicles. I've definitely put, like you, I've put a lot of thought into this.
How many for you?
So I would probably have 3 daily driving vehicles that I swap between.
That's crazy.
Is that even daily at that point?
Yeah.
What's that?
Is that even considered daily at that point?
Shouldn't a daily be the one?
Daily should be the one car
Ford
that you're
Raptor,
driving
Tacoma.
everywhere.
No, but like three to swap between for daily, because it's like, I feel like driving the Raptor R, because that's one that I would love to have. I've driven a couple of them, and I think it's a great truck. So I'd have a Raptor R, but you know what? I don't feel like driving a big ass truck today, and they're bigger than you think.
They are.
When you go to driving down the road, whatever, you're fine. Drive the fuck.
Parking in a lot.
You got it.
Yeah,
grocery
you go to
shopping.
I had to park
somewhere.
outside the complex just to find parking.
Really?
This
There
morning.
you
I
go.
just thought about it. You have 3 daily drivers technically. Britta's Denali, the truck, the F-250, and then your V-Wagon. Those are 3 dailies.
Yeah.
And then your one.
Personally, truck and the V-Wagon.
Right.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Right. So
And how often do you drive the V-Wagon though?
I just washed it yesterday. I was going to drive it here today, but I haven't washed the truck yet. So I figure I'll
do that, right?
just go with the truck today.
But even with that amount of cars, you're not really driving the V-Wagon a whole lot.
It could be 2-3 times a week.
Okay.
I think personally, I'm tapping out.
Here, you mostly see me in the truck. Occasionally.
Sorry,
Right.
Shawn.
No, I think I'm tapping out at 10 vehicles. 10? Yeah, I think I. No, and hear my reasoning on this, honestly, because it's manageable. Like you've got, let's say I've got, I still have this business, let's say, right? So I've got room to park them. So that's not an issue.
But if money's no
I've
issue,
got
you
3
just build another building.
He has
or
a point,
that,
yeah,
or
okay.
that,
So,
or
yeah, it's not even
whatever
about
it might
the
be.
It's like the
space.
Metrangas.
I'm not
right?
worried about.
60
Well, that's a whole
cars.
different world. I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about parking them at all. No, because if we're talking
they got
about
employees, 10 people to take care of their.
Yeah, you
but
need
that's my
employees,
point.
yeah.
I don't want that. I don't personally want that many vehicles. I would go to the point where I have 3 to choose from for daily. Right? You got the truck. I would have something like what I do right now, my wagon, which is a great fucking car.
Yep.
And then I would have probably a sport SUV. That would be 3 killer daily driving vehicles, right?
Sport SUV, as in like what car would you say?
Like maybe an
RS
Audi,
Q8.
the RS Q8, right?
Urus,
That's
G-Wagon.
a really nice vehicle. I'm not a G-Wagon guy, but I get it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's white.
Something that's a sport SUV. It moves down the road great. It sounds great. You can
Range
have 4
Rover
people
type.
comfortably in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
Bronco, Raptor,
any
R,
of the above.
whatever, yeah.
Any of the above, where you can have
Right.
4 people in it comfortably, but it's not massive every time you go to park.
CT5
So I got
Blackwing.
the 3. That's another great one.
Yeah.
So I got the 3 really cool, drive every day, swap between them so you don't get bored with any of them, right? Then I would have 7 fun cars. And the reason I
7 fun cars.
well, no, I say that because I know I would want probably 3 resto-mods, and I can even think of the
which
3
ones?
I would want. I would want a 70 Chevelle done right because I love that car. That car screams muscle car to me. I would fall somewhere in the 69 to 70 Mustang, similar to like Chris Ashton's OG Mustang.
Okay.
I would go somewhere around there. And then possibly, man, it really hit me the other day. I mean, I always loved the 2nd gen Camaro like
Yeah,
crazy.
you always said
Split
that.
bumper.
So I'd probably have a 70 and a half falling into the world of like Kyle Tucker's 70 and a half.
You like that car?
Yep.
I love that. So that's 3 perfect resto mods for me. I would have to have a couple of Porsches. Like I'd probably have to
Porsches?
have 3 Porsches.
Okay. So
I'd
there's
probably
your
have
6
to have
right there,
a
yeah.
modern Porsche. I'd probably have to have a Singer Porsche.
And then a 356.
And then I would have to have you got
Yeah.
it. I'd have to have a 356.
Yeah, this is totally your collection. Yeah.
So now that's 6 cars right there. And when we're in the world of, money doesn't fucking matter, I would probably have to have a Ferrari touring car. I would probably have like an F12 or an 812.
Yeah, there you go.
Something that's
Wait, but
really
you said
fast.
3
It handles
dailies,
great.
3 restos and 3
Porsches.
That's 9.
That's 9. And then I just said the
three
touring
daily.
cars.
The
So
Ferrari,
that puts me into a 10-car collection. It's manageable. I don't need to hire someone to run it for me. I can take care of it myself, hooking up cars to chargers and basic shit that we do here all the time. It's enough that I could drive this car for a couple days, then that car for a couple days. So throughout the month, every car gets exercise, so nothing's falling apart.
Yeah. I feel
And
like you would find
maintenance
yourself
isn't-
though going like, okay, one of these I didn't drive at all though. Get rid of it.
It's
Why
kind of
would-
like that shirt that's
If-
in your closet.
sure, if
where
I
it's kind
did.
of like you have it.
I do that shit all the time.
And then I like it, but I don't want to wear it today.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah,
I
like
feel
that
there's a lot
fur
of
coat
cars
that
like
I bought.
I don't want
worn
to
that
wear
fur
it.
coat.
But see, all
I
the
wanna
ones,
keep it for that one.
all the ones I
occasion
all
over
the ones
next
I
20
just
years.
mentioned, I know I would drive all those all the time. That would be like a couple days in every vehicle throughout the month. Not even a question. Probably some days you'd go like, wow, I'm just still fucking enjoying the 70 and a half Camaro. So I'm going to drive it an extra couple days. And, you know, that to me seems manageable. It's not like I look at some of these guys. I mean, I remember you mentioned Leno. And I remember one time talking to Jay over at his place. And I was like, gosh, dude, do you ever like just have a total problem going, which one do I drive today? And he, you know, Leno being Leno, he was like,
Let me tell you something
people have
interesting
worse problems, you know, or something like that. But the reality is like, we do see him driving all the time. And there's so many vehicles I can think of that are in his facility that I never, ever see him driving down the road.
I never see
him driving his Carrera GT down the road.
I've seen that out here.
Have you?
He did a video, yeah.
Doing a video.
But I saw it.
But I'm talking about just driving, and I'm not saying he doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying out of 200 cars, you know, that's a road. You can't even drive every one of those one day out of the year.
Yeah, you're.
I don't know if I've ever
Yeah,
seen him in
2
the
days
same
out
car,
of the year.
though.
Excuse me.
I have.
have,
I've seen him in the P1 a bunch of times, and I've seen him in his F1 a bunch of times.
You know what
he
I've-
drives those two a lot, or the steam cars. Those are like his favorite.
I've seen him in
Yeah.
the electric Rolls Royce multiple times.
Multiple? Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
I've seen him in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Tesla.
I've seen him in his Plaid twice.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually pulled up on him in my Boss 302, and he rolled his window down to talk to me, and he's like, "Those are great cars. Aren't they? So interesting cars."
Hey, but it kind of even goes back to our original point of like, you can't really daily drive a classic car. You know what I mean?
He's not even doing it. He's driving the Tesla.
He's driving the Tesla
Yeah.
and the electric car.
He flexed
Yeah.
on me. I was
Yeah.
like, "Why are you driving a Tesla?" He's like, "Just the Plaid." It's
Yeah,
not
the
a
thing is too,
regular
like,
Tesla."
like you can't. I think a lot of people are gonna misconstrue like some of what we're saying, like saying that, "Oh, I daily drive my 71, whatever it is." It's like, yeah, you can. Like, I don't think anyone is saying you can't daily drive a classic car. It's just
Yeah.
compared to a newer car. I think
Yeah.
everyone just prefers a newer car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's at a certain point though, I think, cause I used to have that thought, like I've been over at Leno's multiple times, and I used to have that thought, boy, if I had all this money, I would have the same blah, blah, blah. Like I wouldn't.
No,
I
wouldn't
just
either.
would not. I would not. I wouldn't get to sleep at night because I'd be worried. What about this one? What about this one? What about this one? I haven't driven that one in 2 fucking years.
Yeah, there's a whole crew of people
just
at Leno's place.
not gonna do it, man.
Does he have a foreman of his collection?
I think just the guys who work
Probably,
there
but I don't
oversee
know.
everything.
I don't know.
What really kind of changed my mind was when I started working with you guys. I used to want 15, 20 cars in my imaginary collection.
Right.
And then now working here and seeing how much work goes into just managing one person's collection who
Yeah.
has that many cars. I don't want to deal with all that.
I don't want to deal with that.
I'd rather
shit
just
either.
have 4 or
I'm the same.
5 at my house.
And I'm telling you,
that I can just
the
hop in and
rotation
go,
stuff, like
you
that
know?
Fresh Kicks guy, he does that. All right, I need to make room. Which one am I going to get rid of? Which one do I not drive that much? Which one do I really like? But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
got to rotate your collect. That to me is more fun because then you're buying, selling, flipping this and that. You're like playing around with the 4 that you have,
Yeah.
4 or 5 that you have.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of adding
Yeah.
more and then having this headache and maintenance, now you have to hire someone to run it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's
I think
boring.
as soon as you get into having to hire people to maintain cars that you're not driving, I think you've got too many cars.
Well, what
Yeah.
about Surge up in NorCal? How many? He has 20 cars,
dude.
24
But
cars.
did you see him?
He said he drives every one of those cars one day out of the month at
one
least.
day out of the month?
Bro, he clipped his Falcon when he was moving it for us.
Did he?
On the yeah, he clipped the Falcon. I remember he moved or it was the whichever one it was. It was one of the green ones or something. He was moving around trying to get them positioned for us, and it's like that tight little space, and you're always having to move shit around. You're rotating stuff. You're parking it here, tight space. It's like
Well, that setting, that's a setting that, I mean, I know it works for him but he does drive. He said he drives each one of those cars at least one day out of the month so that they're always getting driven. They're never just sitting.
Yeah.
See, I applaud that.
And he's got
That's too many for me personally.
He's got a convenient setup.
He does have a convenient
right?
setup.
Pop the door open.
But even then, like
Right there.
convenient for how many cars he has. But then say he wants to get to one of the ones in the back, he's got to move 3-4 cars just.
Yes.
To get
Yeah,
one.
where they're all
That's the
kinda
thing I
stacked
don't
Or
wanna
the
go.
ones that are on
Horizontal.
the ones that are on the lift, which let's be realistic, like, because we have to deal with it here.
I'm not taking
Once it's on the lift, it's not coming down.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's just fucking not. Unless you force yourself one day to deal
It's a
with it,
half
and
hour,
then you're
40
annoyed
minute
with it.
operation.
Yeah.
Then you get to the point where, again, like the collection we manage, where he's got 2 lifts in his garage, and there's no cars on the lifts anymore.
Yeah.
See, in my
you know?
imaginary world of like a realistic, attainable lifestyle, right? It's a pretty decent sized house, 3-car garage. I got 3 cars inside, and I got my Raptor R daily outside, right?
Yeah.
And then my wife can have her whatever car outside
Yeah.
too.
Oh, you're married too.
I'm saying like,
What are your kids driving, bro?
My kids, they're walking to school, bro.
Damn, Chevrolet.
Yeah,
fuck
bro.
'em.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Teach
uphill
them
both
about
ways.
public transportation, right?
Exactly.
Dad's got a Ferrari and we're walking to school. That's fucked up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
when I'm saying that, I'm saying is because I could hop in each one. I don't have to worry about a lift. I can just, each one has a parking spot, easily go in and out.
That's what I
Right,
like about
right.
I hear you.
That's
Leno's
the thing I'm
places
thinking
like
about.
that. Any single car
hear
in there
you.
can be driven out. There's
Right out,
space
yep.
to just drive. No matter
Yep.
how far back in the shop it's tucked, you can make your way to the exit.
Yep.
That's
By
pretty
the way,
sick.
what I did leave out of that is how many motorcycles I would have, and I've really thought through a lot too, because I used to always think like, oh man, motorcycles take up such a small amount of space. You could have a bunch of them. I know the reality is, without a question, I would add one more motorcycle to what I currently have.
Only 2 bikes?
I would have 2 bikes.
What would you have?
That's
So
it.
your lowrider ST.
I would
perfect.
keep the ST because it's such a perfect motorcycle to
And the
me.
last one?
I would add a Road Glide.
Really?
Yeah, I would, just so I could have a bigger touring bike, and that would mostly be because I have a wife on the back all the
Right.
time, and it would be more comfortable for her.
More amenities.
for
Plus,
you
the bike's gonna run the weight better
Yeah,
than my ST
for
does.
sure.
Like I know I have to upgrade my rear shock on that bike. I need to get something that's gonna prop it up a little bit, But that's it. Like I used to have this crazy fucking notion of like, oh, I'd have 15 motorcycles. Now you're in a scenario where like none of them are getting ridden except for the 1 or 2 that you really fucking like.
That
I
almost
just
has to be
wouldn't
your
personally do
primary
it.
focus is bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as much as I
Shawn-
love riding, it's like that one bike does every fucking thing I like to do riding. The one thing I would like to add on, and I will at some point, is I'll add a Road Glide to it, and then I'll have, because this bike's great for like LA, splitting lanes, all the bullshit that you deal with here in SoCal. It handles fucking great, and then cool, I'm going to do a touring trip, jump on the Road
1,000-mile
Glide.
trip or something. Or
Yeah, whatever. it
Actually,
might
a
be,
good one
just
to look
get on
at
the
is
Road
Mike
Glide.
No Limit, because he's got how many cars? He has the twin turbo Raptor, the Viper, the R8, his 2 Porsches, the GT3 race car looking one, and then the 2 RS.
Yep.
And then he has a Raptor R Daily. 6
Perfect.
cars.
Perfect.
But he never drives that 2 RS. He never drives that white GT3 either.
Well, in the 2 RS, he said he bought that. That was really knowing that he got a decent price
he just
on
got
it,
the Ferrari
That's a
and knowing the
collector.
collectible
He just bought a
level
Ferrari
of it.
too.
Oh, I didn't know
F8?
that.
Yeah, F8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go fucking Mike.
Damn, that's a lot of
man.
cars though, bro.
Yeah.
It is.
You're not driving all
All right, Kyle, what about
No.
you though? So
No.
Sean
Skateboards,
says
the supercars.
10
Hold on,
cars,
me and
2
you,
motorcycles.
I'm on board with you, bro.
Okay,
you,
but what car specifically?
Probably, like Raptor or G-Wagon, something like
As your
that
daily.
daily, for sure.
You would definitely have a G.
G-Wagon.
There's no.
For sure. Blacked out, for sure. Definitely Chevelle, like Roadster Shop or like Survivor Series Chevelle,
Right.
for sure.
Right.
Definitely Ferrari.
812?
812, yeah. And some like Porsche, some kind of that vintage Porsche Nico got really fucking geeked me out the other day.
That's
So
cool.
much
That's a
much
nice
fun.
combo.
It is, because that something about the car trying to like kill you and having it be it wasn't like brutal, fast, big horsepower, but
Just raw.
it felt raw
Yeah.
and crazy
Yeah,
and old
totally.
school and tiny inside. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I can get behind this. It's pretty
So
cool.
only one American muscle car, though.
Yeah, I don't need like multiple ones.
Yeah.
Would you keep your M4?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I'd probably keep the E46 before the M4.
Yeah.
Probably
Good
have
call.
that. Yeah.
Good call.
The M4 it really is like they made so many of them. It's just a regular car. The E46 is definitely classic, but the M4 is like whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think
Nothing
it'll ever
special
I don't think
about
it'll.
it,
Yeah, I
to
don't
you.
think it's like a special car.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
nice car, but
Watch
it's not,
30 years from now, it's like 150 grand.
There's no way they made too many of them.
I know,
It's
I know.
too
It's
like
just-
basic twin turbo. This
Yeah.
and that. Yeah, like whatever.
All right, Chris. I mean, you kind of already have your.
Chris, you got your
You already
lineup,
have
bro.
yours set up.
You got
I got it. Maybe in terms of the classics, obviously, you know, I keep Vicious, but I would own a muscle car kind of like Devious. Maybe even buy that one back.
Yeah.
So you got your
Where you could
your-
drive it. I wouldn't have any hesitation to drive it to Northern California.
So you have your truck
Yeah.
right now. That's your kind of daily driver. You have your CTSV wagon.
Yep.
You have Vicious.
Yep.
And then
And then maybe a more street-worthy,
Friendly, user friendly. Yeah.
classic car.
Like
classic
Devious
car.
was. Yeah.
Devious.
So
Yeah.
4 would be it for you. You wouldn't have a couple of others.
No, there's only so much time in the days.
I get it though. 4 or 5 is where it's at. I think.
Yeah, I think
Shawn's
that's the magic number right there. I'd have a small number.
I guess it's because doing this, you know, the storage business here, I look at like Matrangas as a great example, right? Way too many for me personally, just way too many. But to own, like you guys, to if I, again, you know, you're talking about money's at just zero question whatsoever. 4 is not enough for me because there's more, because it'd be like, I want to drive a Porsche today, but I don't want to drive a modern Porsche. I want to drive a 356, or I want to drive a Singer, or I want to drive like you said, Nico's 930.
Yeah.
You know, there's like a few Porsches I'd want to be able to rotate
you got
regularly.
little mini collections.
There's a
in
few
your
muscle
big
cars
collection.
I would want to rotate regularly.
Like I like all
There
those,
just is.
like a lot of those, and I want to rotate a lot. Also, it's just I don't want to have to drive somewhere else to pick up a car that I want to drive. If I want to drive something, I want to just hop in and go right away.
But you're in
Yeah,
the
I
money,
hear you.
no object.
I know, but still, it's even like.
But if
like
you have
Derek- or like your guys' client, like I don't want, like he can't even have everything all in one building. You know,
Yeah, well, now
Well,
he
he
does.
could if
but
he-
but
he's got to go to that building though, right?
But with your, as an example though, dude, you say you have your 3-car garage and you got your Raptor R out front. Now let's say you have a secondary building somewhere like this, right? That you have somebody running, it's positive cash flow for you, and you've got room to have a few more vehicles there. You can't rotate them in and out of your house garage?
I mean, yes, I could. It's just I don't know if I want to go through that.
I got you.
You know?
I hear you.
Well, it's just
And
a
then-
phone call to your assistant.
Yeah,
Johnny
that's
on the
true.
spot.
But it's just like maybe things would change if I did have $100 million in my bank account, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe I would have 10 cars. I don't know.
Yeah.
You definitely have
Yeah.
an assistant.
Yeah,
if you're
That's
worth
another thing I
100
always think
mil.
about is everyone wants to say what they would do if they had a bunch of money.
But you
don't
just
know what
don't
the
know.
fuck you do, and that's why
Yeah,
these
yeah.
other people do
'Cause
that
That's
shit.
the truth right
Here's the
there.
thing, though.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
yeah, I would want my 4 cars, but also, yeah, I'd want a drift car. Yeah,
You know,
I
I'm
would
gonna be
want a
honest
race
with you, you
car.
know what I would do?
Like, I
I
would
would-
want those things, but then I'd have to park them somewhere else. I'd
Yeah,
probably
if you
need another
wanted
building.
off-road, you have a
know,
side-by-side
a truck to
or
tow it
a
with because the Raptor isn't going to
luxury
really do it.
pre-runner.
You know,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
just it's theoretically, I would probably be closer to where what you're saying.
I'd probably
And,
buy my
you know.
friends' cars too. I feel like that would be the coolest thing I could do.
You're
You
not
know?
buying me.
I would buy you a
piece
car,
though, bro.
Fuck yeah, I would, dude. If I had all that money, I'd buy you a car, you a car, you a car. I'd take us all shopping.
Not even
Let's
a
all
question.
go shopping together, bro.
Yeah, not even a question.
Why would you not do that? But then see,
Yeah.
Well, look, our client did do that. He gave his friend the GT3. He said,
Yes.
"I don't drive this car anymore.
Yeah.
My friend would never buy it himself. He works so hard. I'm
Yep.
giving it to him.
Yep.
I would do that for you, Pookie.
And I could see if Kyle got a desert home and he had a luxury pre-runner, he'd have 3, maybe 4 other ones for his friends to come
Yeah,
out
we can
and
all hang
enjoy
out
the
together.
desert.
100%. I would so do that, dude. What's
Yeah.
the point of not having your friends enjoy
Yeah.
it with you? That's like that episode in
Rather
Entourage.
than you, a lonely soul out there in the desert.
Yeah.
Wondering.
Wow, this is so fun all by myself.
All by yourself. And in Entourage, they go to that Pro Italia store and they all buy Ducatis.
Yeah,
you know? Or they all go
exactly.
buy the Aston Martins
Yeah,
together.
dude,
That's
totally.
fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So would do that.
I'm totally with you.
That would be
totally with you.
Yeah.
Instead of buying
amazing.
10 for myself, no one touch them, no one look at them.
See,
Fuck
yeah, like,
that,
I would-
bro.
I
Well,
would-
no, have the 10 for yourself and
Then buy more for your friends.
and buy.
Yeah.
Or
Go
I
on a
mean,
shopping
what would
spree.
be cool too is you have your collection, and then like, yeah, like okay, yeah, just pick a car out of my collection.
Let's go drive.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go drive. Like
Yeah.
I don't care. This is what I'm driving though. Don't take that one. You know.
Yeah,
And then the other thing too
dude.
is like, okay, your friend crashes your car. As long as they're okay, that's all that matters. The car can get replaced. The car can get fixed. You're not worried about, this is my investment. Don't drive it. You know what I mean? I would want everyone
Yeah.
to go have fun with it.
Pretty funny questions, man. I like the
What
fun
ifs.
of yeah,
What
it's,
ifs,
yeah,
yeah.
it's fun because
Yeah.
the reality is probably never going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, but if it did, it's kind of fun to hear everybody's perspective on what they would do if they were in that position. You know,
it's a lot of wishful thinking. My
yeah.
mom used to say shit in one hand,
Super
wish
funny.
in the other, see which one fills up faster.
So let's. I like this other one that we were talking about today, and you guys can have some fun following along with us on this if you're still here with us. Trying to guess car sounds.
Oh,
yeah.
we're still
I haven't
how
queued-
long are we in?
Well,
on this
right
part?
now we're at about 58 minutes.
Oh, so you didn't
I
key
haven't-
these
I
up?
haven't queued up. I haven't queued up.
Should we save that for the next one?
Let's just try a few.
Okay, do
All
a
right, all right,
couple.
here's the thing though.
We
You
can't
guys-
look at the
I was about to say,
screen.
You guys can't cheat.
All
You
right,
can't
we're gonna
look.
look at you, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
Who's going
you.
first though? Is
Here's
it?
just,
Are we all guessing or is it Shawn? Guess
let's,
this one.
let's go around in a circle. We'll start Shawn.
Are these
Kyle.
stock
Okay.
sounds? Just
Some yes,
sounds of
some
what
no.
a- yeah, okay.
So
I'm
Shawn,
guessing.
if Shawn doesn't get it, it goes on to the next person.
No, we all say our guess, and then at the end
We reveal
if anyone
reveal the
won.
answer.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
correct,
There you
correct.
go.
Because we might all completely eat shit on this.
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
Hold on, let me check.
I hear a DCT Ferrari shifting.
I was going to go to
but it
Ferrari.
doesn't sound like Ferrari.
It sounds like a V12.
High winding.
No, it's not a Carrera GT because that'd be manual.
I'm hearing Porsche.
Hold on. No, that's a V12, dude. That's a V12. That's an 812 Superfast, bro.
I say it's a Ferrari. Don't know what model. Modern, obviously.
I don't know.
Hold on. Ah, that's an 812.
All right. Shawn, what do you think?
Fuck, I don't know, man. I guess I'm gonna go Ferrari also. You guys got
Any
me.
Ferrari?
You guys got me thinking Ferrari.
Are we
No, you
Ferrari?
got
You
me
gotta be
thinking.
specific. Try
You
to
got
be
me
specific.
thinking V12
I'm not-
also, but
V12.
it doesn't sound screaming like a super fast. So
That was Superfast with Novatec exhaust.
I'll go F12.
F12.
812.
You say A12.
I just say
Chris?
Ferrari. I don't know
Ferrari.
all the models.
Okay.
All right, give it to me.
All right.
Do I get to look at the
Look at the
screen?
screen. Look at the screen.
Oh, look at that.
A12 super fast.
Good job,
Look at that.
Cott. You
Bro,
really
I
do love
this
that car.
bro. I knew
You
it
just
right
proved
away.
your love of this car, man.
I've heard that sound in real life so
And
many
I just
times.
proved
know.
how much these mean nothing to me because I don't.
That's the greatest sound, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because
Wow,
the shift.
really good.
I think it's a distinctive Ferrari
It's the
sound.
shift sound that got me.
Good work, Kyle.
I've shifted.
Kyle loves
I've
that
shifted
fucking
so many
car.
times in that car. I'm number one shifter.
That
in
one was
car.
specifically for Kyle.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
if he doesn't get
totally.
this one, then
Yeah.
I don't know what to
Totally.
That's my true.
You
That's
just-
my true car right there.
Yeah, you just proved your love for
think.
that.
Okay, I'm going to the next
fucking
one.
car.
Don't look at the screen.
No screen looking.
All right, let's see.
That's supercar for sure. Just that's.
I recognize that. I recognize that sound.
That's a Carrera GT for
Porsche.
sure. V10 Carrera GT.
I'm with you.
I heard that startup sound. I've heard that in
I'm
the
with
shop
you.
before. It's
Yeah,
got
I'm
that
totally
10
with you.
cylinder. That's a fuck,
I'm
and it's a
totally with
manual
you.
shift.
And all three of you are wrong.
Oh, it's a GTR, huh?
No,
it's
that's
LFA.
Oh, but see, I was close
Oh.
on the V10 right there.
You got the V10. Yep.
That one was the tricky one.
It's funny. It
Oh,
is
this car-
reminiscent of a Carrera GT.
Yeah, it's that high pitched V10.
Yep.
LFA is not top on my mind.
That's the thing. I chose that one because no one. It's not really one that.
I got the motor though.
That was a good trick. That was a good trick. Fuck you, Josh.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, next
throw
one.
on a
All right,
Hellcat
next.
there,
All right.
I'll get that one.
That's a GT500. That's a fucking GT500, bro.
Mustang?
That's a Mustang GT500. Go back. Start that.
Hang
again.
on. Look.
Smoky burnout. Start to go from the beginning.
Burnout.
Oh, that fucking Ford sound. Come on, bro.
That's a Mustang.
That was a Mustang rev.
All right.
Yeah.
It is.
That's a Mustang.
It's a Raptor R.
What?
So technically,
right. Okay, yeah, GT500 motor, yeah.
technically
Yeah.
GT500. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was gonna,
It's fucking.
Yeah, total Ford.
I know. I gave it away right there.
I'm not getting the car, but I'm getting the motor. So I guess I'm gonna guess the motor instead of the car itself.
All right. Don't look. This one is going to be from one of our videos.
Ooh.
That's crazy.
It's an automatic, obviously.
Pre-run. That's a pre-runner. I just heard the e-brake.
That'll work.
Yeah. That thing pulled.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
total.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
one of
yeah.
the pre-runners.
It is one of the pre-runners. It's
All
the 830 horsepower one.
That's a dead giveaway, though.
But the
bro.
thing is, though, like I'm
Yeah.
trying to choose one from one of our videos, and I can't choose one where it's like 30 seconds of only audio.
Yeah.
You know, even the intros have music and all these things.
Yeah.
You know, so it's hard picking one. But like that one, I didn't think it was going to pull the e-brake right there and then. You know? All right, next one. Don't look at the screen.
And is this another one from our videos?
Yeah, this one. Hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully, you're not talking in the background.
I already know what this is because of the song.
Yeah, see.
I don't even need to hear the car. I know the edit. That's Griffin's Volvo, just based off the song. Yeah.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's hard to do it with our videos, I
can't-
guess.
It is.
hard.
Yeah.
It is.
Because even if I choose it, and you hear the talking.
That was such a
that
crazy
the
fucking
Mustang?
shoot. That was such a fucking wild shoot.
Yeah. All right, let me try another one. Let's see what else we got here.
Okay.
You gotta have to maybe look up the sound of, or why don't you just
He's
type
showing, by the way, how much he doesn't like Porsche.
He hasn't selected one.
Bro, I picked
Flat.
I picked 10 cars in here. Or I don't know how many. Let's see.
E30?
No, this is some V6. That's a V6 or G37, Q50, V6 Trump.
Wait,
Wait,
no.
this is our video.
Is it the La Brute?
This is the Renault.
Nope.
Hold on. Oh, hold on a second.
Wait, this could be.
Mini Cooper? Trumpet. Very
Super
trumpet.
high revving. And it's not an E30.
Not an E30.
It sounds like the Renault.
It's not the LS Porsche.
No,
Not the LS Porsche. No.
Definitely
that's
not.
6-cylinder sounding.
It is. Not an E30. Not
Yeah, you're
I did say it though. I said it.
It's not La Brute.
I looked.
No, it's
You got it. It's the
sometimes I
Mini.
just want
It's
to
the
choke
Mini.
Kyle, bro.
It was the Mini.
Good work.
It's a
Good
Mini
work,
Cooper.
Kyle. So Kyle's winning this game, by the way.
Yeah, but he uploads and watches all of them, so
This
he
is true.
He knows.
This is true. He
Yeah.
knows him better than all of us. Yeah.
For the guy with the tiniest ears in the room too, I got a pretty good ear, you know?
Yeah, you got your volume up the most in
Yeah.
your headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
See, miss
Yeah.
those drone
But 812 with
shots.
Novatec exhaust is the best.
812.
Bro.
Novatec exhaust 812, bro. Number one.
Wow.
So fire.
Wow.
All right, I think we're good off that, yeah?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah,
there.
that was pretty fun to try to guess on. The other one, we'll tap on to this one next time, was listening to Roger Ironworks on the Roadster Shop, the oil and whiskey podcast. And we'll touch on this next time. Maybe you guys can think about it and chime in the comments with us. Is when you're building a resto-mod, do you put the thought into what your intended purpose is of that car? Did you build something you wanted, or did you build something to win awards?
That's our next topic, huh?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think too
think
many.
that's a good
I'm going to
I
hold
think
my
too
answer until
I'll
next
think
time.
about that for
Yeah.
1 week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think too many people fuck up and they build something because they want people to go ooh, and then they get in the car and they don't ever drive it because it's too much for
They
them.
went too far.
They went too far,
And they
into
started off with just wanting a
award-winning
driver,
land.
and then they went into the award stuff.
Fuck yeah, man.
The other thing that annoys me with the whole award stuff is like, okay, your car's done. Now the builder wants to take it to all these shows so he can show off the work that his shop did, and now you got to
Yeah.
take. Dude, give me my fucking car. Let me go drive. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying that builders are bad people. I'm just saying that's what you're expected to do
Yeah.
when you commission a shop to build a car.
But
for
I think
you.
a lot of those owners,
they want to
they
do
like that.
They like that. Yeah.
yeah, like
I wouldn't
my
want
car
that
is being
though, bro.
shown off. Like, you know what I mean? That's the whole point of the
Yeah,
car
yeah.
being built. You know?
Campaigned for
For
the
some
first
people,
year.
yes. Like Steve Aguilar being someone that's a friend and all that. Steve definitely builds car. Like you saw, like last time we
He brought
shot
all
with
those
him,
trophies.
all those trophies.
trophy,
he wants
yeah.
to show that,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
really, really gets off on that and good. So he ends up building the cars
Yeah.
he builds.
Yeah.
But we'll
see,
dig
our
we can
generation
dig
is
in
not
on
into
this
that.
one. We
Yeah, we'll
can
talk
dig
about that
in
next
on
week.
the
Yeah.
next one for
Okay.
sure. So you guys, thanks for hanging out with us for another Monday podcast, and
Hopefully no one got depressed from that
we
one.
will see you soon.
Sorry.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Later.